Detroit Den 313, Detroit Lions fans, welcome back. Steve here. You know, we're going to be talking a little Lions football. If that's your cup of tea, hit that subscribe button for me. Greatly appreciated. Man, I guess when Ben Johnson says unfinished business, he's not joking around. When he says he wants to run it back, he wants to see championships brought to Detroit, and that's something I'm really starting to respect from Ben Johnson. Man, it's fantastic. We got some good news from Tom Pelissero on Twitter that Washington Commanders had flown into Detroit to meet with Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn. When I heard this news, I'm immediately thinking, I don't think I've ever heard of two coordinators being interviewed by the same team with that team flying in to meet with them. I thought maybe, are they trying to get a package deal where Ben's head coach and he brings Aaron Glenn with him as DC? I didn't know. I thought it was a little weird, but Ben Johnson shut it down and said, boys, I don't know what you're doing here. I'm sticking around. I'm staying in the D. I got some unfinished business. I want to bring championships to Detroit. And I respect that a lot, man. I really do. I think it's honorable because Ben Johnson, I think, has been one of the brightest and best young coordinators in the NFL the last 2 or 3 years. He had offers last year, and he told the Panthers that he wanted to run it back with Detroit. So he's a man of his word. I think I'm not as overly excited as I think a lot of other people are. It's great. I'm going to give you some good and some bad. It's good that our offense is going to stay consistent. Nothing is really changing. We have our core. We have Amon-Ra St. Brown. We have Penei Sewell. You know, our running backs, Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jared Goff. Like, we have our core offense. So nothing's going to change for them. Sometimes when you bring in a new coordinator, there's some verbiage that changes, some schemes that don't really fit the player, and it can kind of be some heavy wavy water. It just, you know, some tough sledding. So we don't have to worry about that because nothing's going to change. Year 3 of Ben Johnson, it's good. But here's what concerns me. It's not all sunshines and rainbows with Ben Johnson, in my opinion. And again, you guys know how I feel about opinions. I have mine. You have yours. We can agree. We can disagree. Let's keep it respectful. Here's what concerns me. And this might not be Ben Johnson directly related right away off the rip, but what concerns me is third quarter of every single game has been question marks with our offense and adjustments. I think Ben Johnson needs to get better at making adjustments in the second half. I think he needs to get better at utilizing some of his weapons, Jameson Williams, who we really didn't see start to come on until really the NFC Championship was his best game. That's what concerns me. Like I said, it's good. It's bad. I would rather have Ben Johnson than not have him. I think that my concerns are things that can be fixed. I think it's things that can be addressed. I think Dan Campbell will talk about it. They'll get that squared away. So I'm not concerned. Like I said, I would rather have Ben Johnson than not have him because I think it at least gives us some very, very good consistency. You know what to expect with the Detroit Lions offense next year. And it's going to get better because, like I said, we have our core. We might lose Josh Reynolds. He's becoming a free agent. I don't know if we're going to keep him around. I don't know. There's some stuff that we need along the offensive line. Here's my concern, and this isn't really Ben Johnson related, but Frank Ragnow, man, absolute warrior. But my concern with Frank is he hanging him up? Is he retiring? Now, he hasn't hinted or said anything. I'm just kind of speculating. Like, this guy's been through it, man. His body gets beat up every year. Eventually playing that style of football in the trenches, just getting pounded on all season, and the injuries that he's occurred over his career is a long list, and he might just have enough. But I think what's going to bring Frank back is the fact that we were so close. Everyone else is coming back. I think Frank comes back. So I'm not overly concerned, but our offensive line on the interior needs a little, it needs to be discussed because I'm not sure about Frank, his status, and how long he wants to play football. Jonah Jackson's a free agent. Graham Glasgow's a free agent. So at some point we're going to need a guard because I'm not going to get into a full who we're losing show, but I do speculate that we're probably going to lose Jonah Jackson at a minimum. Not sure what Graham Glasgow wants to do. If he wants to come back, hopefully I think he does. I think he's been probably one of the MVPs along that offensive line. It's easy to say Penei Sewell's been the guy. He's an absolute anchor over there at right tackle. You know what you're getting out of him. But Graham Glasgow played center. He played left guard, played right guard. He was a Swiss Army knife force on that offensive line. I think he was very underappreciated. So other than that, man, our offense is looking good. Like I said, I want Ben Johnson around. Rather have them than lose them. Sorry, guys. I'm going to shake this cold one day. It's been about a month, but I want Ben Johnson here. We have our quarterback. We'll talk about that later. I'm not getting into Jared Goff's situation. We know what's going on there with his extension, his contract running up. We got one more year on him. Hopefully he doesn't, hold out or anything like that. But it's his right to do so, and I understand it. But we've got some work to do. Ben Johnson is a solid offensive coordinator. One of the bright spots of the NFL that a lot of people want. So we just got to kind of, make some adjustments. We got to get better in the third quarter with our offensive play calling because it's been bad all year. I know a lot of people were just kind of overly exposed to it on Sunday against the 49ers, but me and Will, we've talked about this since like week 3. Like, at week 3, it wasn't like a huge deal. It was just kind of like, oh man, I hope this doesn't become a pattern. But it did become a pattern where our third quarter offense was not very good. If we could just clean that up, man, address our offensive line a little bit, figure out a receiving situation. I don't think we can go in there with just St. Brown and Amon-Ra, or not Amon-Ra. Jameson Williams only getting the ball twice a game. We have some studs. I didn't even mention Sam Laporta. Like, guys, our offense is fine, and we got our coordinator. We're coming back. Unfinished business. I am excited, believe it or not. My excitement's just really dampered because I'm still feeling that loss from Sunday, guys. Like, I know a lot of us are. It was tough. So I'm sorry that my excitement is not like through the roof. I'm sorry that my enthusiasm is a little sluggish today, I guess. I'm still feeling that loss from Sunday. But this Ben Johnson story is good. I'm excited. It's fantastic news. But like I said, there are some stuff to clean up, man. So hit that like button for us. That helps us out more than anything. Hit that like button. Greatly appreciated. Hitting the subscribe button, greatly appreciated. Leave a comment down below. We'll talk about it. Are you excited about Ben Johnson? On a scale of, let me ask you guys this. On a scale of 1 to 10, I ask Will these questions all the time. 1 to 10, 1 being, I don't really care. 10 being, I'm ready to run through my neighborhood naked, excited. 1 to 10, how excited are you about Ben Johnson coming back? Leave it in the comments down below, guys. We will be back later this afternoon, maybe tonight with another story, another context, another episode. Me and Will getting together around 10 o'clock tonight. We might have that up tomorrow morning, but we are getting something together. Hit that subscribe button, guys. Greatly appreciated. Have a good Tuesday. We'll be back later.